And he went through this. He used to go through this shit. And when I grew older, because he didn't talk about it, I used to think, because he was the most gentlest, the hardest bloke I ever knew. Never hit me.
Yeah.
Never hit me. Never raised his voice at me. He was such a loving man. Yeah. So that's what I want to get over to everybody. We're all there. We're all there as well. I'm just so proud of you all. I haven't got the words. I'm just so proud of you all. I'm more proud of you guys than like when we get to the Olympics and Big Josh comes and calls me Uncle Bob and we have a laugh and the joke and whatever. But I'm just so much prouder of all you guys.
Hello, this is Black Country Blokes chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
This is the Black Country Blokes chewing the fat. With me, Kev Dill, Lee Cadman, Craig Pinches, Aaron Dew, and today we're joined by a very special guest, my dad, Bob Dillon. Now we're going to be talking a lot about Bob's life, from growing up. Well, in fact, what a lot of people don't know is you were born in Ireland, wasn't you?
Yeah, Southern Ireland, yeah.
Was Grandad, he was a football player, wasn't he?
Yeah. My dad, your granddad, he played over in Ireland. He was a pro footballer, and those days they earned a good wage. If the local working man earned £3, if you played professional football, you used to earn say £5 a week, and that was a lot of money in them days. And so he used to go off to Ireland. His dad was an Irish man, Southern Irish. He was a jockey whose brother, who I'm named after, won the Derby. They was a famous Irish family, and he brought them all of it from being the jockey family, the Dillons, and he played professional football.
Because you come back up when you were very young, and you did, back in the day, the Irish had such racism, didn't they? I remember you saying one day, Grandad told you that you're actually Irish, and you went to school, and you told your friends that you're Irish, and they went from being your best friend to bullying you because of something you had no idea about.
That's when my life changed. I went from this, I got dyslexia, which wasn't such a word then when I was a child. I got severe hearing problems because your adenoids became rotten because they just didn't take your tonsils out. Oh, we'll go out, and then they got there and it poisoned all the back of my ears, so I became deaf and I had a speech impediment and all the things that you should have as a child. Illness and not being able to go out and play and stuff. But I was a chirpy little kid, and I used to go and play with the big lads and the young ones, kicking football and what. I loved it. Always had imagination through going to hospital from the age of 2, 3, 4, 5, always in hospital. So dyslexia and missing education. I was one of those kids. In today, you'd hope that you'd be looked after more. But back then it was like, he's thick. I got all my mates and we left King Swinford, where it was a lovely place, Beach Road. Went up to a place called Bromley Lane, Ketley Fields, which was the new state-of-the-art place. And went up there and met friends straight away, because that's what children do. If you leave children alone and let them, if we could take everybody away and we would allow children to play, they're still cruel, because that's nature to survive, but there'd be no racism as such, and there'd be it's what we get poisoned by. So I'm there, I'm playing away with all my mates, and I'm doing the usual thing. Somebody says something and I'm kicking off and playing football, and we've lost, so I'm kicking off, and I'm this little ginger shit who's doing what he does and going off and playing with horses and risking. And then the one day, my mum just happened to say to me, when I asked her, it was our boat, Mum, and she said, Cork. And I said, is that anywhere near the hospital, Mum? And they said no, and they just explained to me I'd be about between 5 and 7. I said, you was born in Ireland? No, right. And I've gone out and I've got friends that was born in Wales, or their parents were from Wales and Scotland. And I went out and was playing football, and they said, we used to play a game called World Cup. And it was just like, you'd all pick a country you were going to be, and whoever scored the goals. And I said, I'm going to be Ireland. And everybody looks at me and went, what, why Ireland? I said, that's where I was born. I said, oh, great. Now, and for that hour that we played football, I was special. because I was from abroad, real abroad, where you had to like get across water to get where I was abroad. And I felt great. I remember feeling great. I was the goalkeeper, the left back, the centre half, and the centre forward for Ireland, and I was playing. I thought, oh, this is great being Irish. I haven't got a clue what Irish meant. This is great being Irish. And I remember going in to have my tea and sitting down, because like I say, my dad played professional football over there. He played for Birmingham City as a youth, did his apprenticeship, then he played for Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, and then he went off and played in Ireland for Waterford and Cork, and he played for England Select, for Ireland Select against, he was all class and all the names, I got all the paperwork there. So I've come out really bouncy, 5, 6, 7 years of age, really bouncy. And as I come out for the second part to play World Cup, a couple of them called me an Irish bastard. And I ain't got a clue what bastard meant. And I went, what does that mean? And then the venom started. And I remember going in and being so, and when I look back, that would be the parents. Yeah. Nah, I was an Irish bastard, is it? Because all the paddies, because my dad was English, but all the paddies worked on building sites, and that was all the labourers. Yeah. When I look back, even to when I was like 20, I can't remember Irish brickies, I can't remember the Irish, all I remember, everybody was the labourer that came over, and that's where the word the navvy, because the paddies came over and their dad dug the canals, and you was always led to believe that, you know, paddy, you're thick, that's why you're thick, that's why you can't read and write. I've been in hospital all my life, basically all my life. What my parents did for me, and that's where I get my parenting skills from, and the ability to use this. Yeah. The one thing that I'll never take away from me is my imagination. So, and I got that from my mum and dad, that would sit with me for hours and talk to me.
It was Grandad Bernard that got you into boxing,
wasn't it? Yeah, well, again, like, I said I was a little shit. I was as good as gold. It's when somebody would press the wrong button. I didn't care how big they were. I would fly. I would just fly. No process. Instead of turning around and saying, leave it go, you'll get fed up with doing it. Which I would now. Leave it go, I'll get fed up with doing it. It was like, we'll fly off the angle. And you're born with that. We're born with that. We're animals. Some of us are gorillas. Some of us are lions. Some of us are cheetahs. Some of us are orangutans. Some of us, we're all different animals that come together, and inside here I'm on about, we're all different. Because if one man walks away, it doesn't make him a coward, it makes him a clever man. Absolutely. You know, but I would fly off the animal, and that has followed me through life. Not proud of it, not ashamed of it, not proud of it. But so I go to the big school, which was like, to me, in my mind, it was like the days of Oliver Twist. I've gone to that school, very little learning, and I'll sit down with this teacher called Mr. Lees, and I sat at the desk like that happy. Can you remember going to the big school? Yeah. My nerves, I didn't know what nerves was. And maybe that's what's causing my anxieties now, that all them years ago, the part of the brain that doesn't know why you're frightened, just says run. Yeah. As far as your brain's concerned, there's 3 parts of the brain: survival, you know, eat, mate, you know, just keep the species going. Then the other part that starts to think, and then there's the other part, the front part, that says, you better run, because that grizzly bear ain't going to be a sandwich, you're going to be his sandwich. So maybe that's what's done me with my anxiety, and why sometimes I get, so I'd be at school, I'd be 11 years of age, which I was, and I'd be walking back up Standhills Road, and somebody would call me a name because I used to have this speech impediment from my ears. And only by luck did a speech therapist that was working in the school to help people that was behind on reading, and she was teaching me to read to catch up. She taught me to speak properly. I'm the luckiest man in the world. With the people that I've met in life, I'm the luckiest man in the world. And I'll come to what I believe is good about luck. So I comes in again, black eye, blazer ripped again. Them days you couldn't just go and buy another blazer because that was like a lot of money. So out come my mum, love of my life. I've been so lucky with women in my life. And she fixed the blazer so you couldn't tell. And that's what they did back in them days. The women knew how to how to repair things, how to repair your socks, how to repair your blazer, how to do stuff, because they had to, because
There was craft.
it was craft.
Yeah, there was craft.
You took your car to be fixed, they fixed it.
Yeah.
Now they replace it. You know, so, and he says, right, if there'd been karate about, I think they would have took me karate school. But he loved his boxing, Dad, did he? He loved it. He was the only one I remember when Cassius Clay was boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, he listened to it and he got on his hands and knees when I was 3 and 4, and he taught me how to jab. Dad taught me how to jab. Dad taught me how to move, how to punch. No coach taught me that. He taught me, sat on his knees and he'd do that. And he was a window cleaner and he'd come back with his hands frozen in this weather. And he'd sit on his hands and knees and play before he had his dinner. Parenting skills. Parenting skills. Same with him. So, you know, Paddy. I say, yeah, that's on my husband. And they feel I fight the Paddy would take on the racism.
How old were you when you got into the boxing?
11. And I went down to Kimber Boxing Club, and the people there will always have a big chunk of that art. My art doesn't belong to me, it belongs to so many different people. And I went in there and they gave me a skipping rope, and I had a rash round here with my tongue out. Girl, skip. And that's all he did. And he kept looking over, the coach did. And then I went down the Thursday, and he my dad, with everybody smoked, went outside, and they were all having a smoke, and he put a pair of gloves on me, and he got in there, the coach did, and he knocked 7 bells of shit out of me. To me, he was most probably, in my eyes, I was having a beat up. In his eyes, it was just bump, bump. We wouldn't do that, and that's why we wouldn't do that. You know, don't treat others like if you've been bad with you, treat them how you've been treated properly, or how you'd like to be treated. That's just our philosophy. So I cried. I come out the ring crying, and my dad walked in and he said, "What's going on there?" I said, "Is it me?" And he said, "Why?" And Dad said, "I'll put them on with you if you fancy eating people." Anyway, I think we turned up the following Tuesday, more so as Dad could have another nip at the coach, knowing what I know now. Knowing what I know now. And now we'll go down Tuesday. Daddy, but no, you're going down Tuesday. So we went down the following Tuesday, and I spotted a kid called Philip Askey, I think his name was. And we become real good friends. And he beat the shit out of me. And he was like a schoolboy champion. And he was good. When I look back, he was good. And then that Thursday, I got medical. Wow. Wow. Talk about the land of the alligator fighting the... So...
when was this, Dad? Back in the 70s?
Oh, yeah, back in the 70s. I'm 62 now, so 11 off 62 is 51. Wow, that's a lot of years, isn't it? I was 11 and a half, coming nearly 12, and I got medical, and you just went to the doctor, and he took your pulse. Well, he didn't even take your pulse, he looked at you and breathed it. But you do know boxing's dangerous, don't you? Yeah, I'll tell my dad he won't let me do that. I didn't like the idea of it. You know what I mean? Just give me a ball, I'll go and kick a ball, and you know, that Paddy word ain't such a bad word. I won't fight no more then. You know what I mean? That's the way I thought as a child. Oh, I like the word Paddy, Dad. I quite like it. Nice, isn't it? Oh yeah, come on, we're going back down there. And every Tuesday and Thursday after that, I used to pretend I'd got the flu. No. No, you're going. You're going. No, you're going. And he did great things for me. But it was the old coaches down there, the old professional coaches that got flat noses and were punchy, and there was a lovely man called Reg. Shame on me, I forgot his last name. Reg Guttridge. Old Reg. He'd been a Japanese prisoner of war. He was a great big tall man from Kidderminster. Phil Sullivan, I think, was the other guy, little guy that was his friend. And this is what I love about fighters. I'm talking fighters. Yeah. This guy had like over hundreds of bouts, and he'd been a prisoner of war. Nobody knew he'd been a prisoner of war. He was a war hero. When he died, it all come out. I cried. I was away again. I've missed so much through boxing. I've gained so much. And they taught me. Old Jack, who got a nail right across his face. He'd learned to block with his face. He always used to say to me, you know, if they hit you, they're in range. Oh, that's going to know. I'd missed that one. No, don't worry about getting hit, son, he'd say. I know what about getting hit, old Bricky, Jack was. When they hit you, they mean right, so when they hit you, just punch. And you'll hit something. As long as it's not the referee, you'll be all right. And that's how I learnt to box. But they took me in, and there was a wonderful guy called Chris Jenkins, and I think he fought for European professional titles, and how he was the one that him and Red taught me the little slips and the slides, and how to block. And didn't call it a block, he put a block on that and a slip on that, and they taught me. And my best asset was my feet and my reflexes. Because I used to like to have my hands on my chest, and they taught me them little things. They taught you. They used to go down there to keep fit, these guys, they didn't punch you back because they was old timers, and they were the most beautiful people in the world. And I knew it at the time, only you couldn't put a label on it. So I learned to box down there, and I think I lost my first 6. I got stopped in my first 2, because them days you were put in and you were matched. How tall is he and what's his weight like? Jump on the scale, yeah, what's a stone, you can carry that on here, bag of taters. I remember the conversations. You tell me to go down the road now and get a bag of a jar of coffee, a bag of sugar and tomato sauce. I'll come back with something totally different. But I can remember these things that happened because it was done with, and they taught me to block, to slip, to slide, to punch. And when I boxed, they would always ring the next day. How's he got on? Oh, he's got stopped again. Keep him going with it, Brendan. My dad, some would call him Brendan, some would call him Bernard. Go with him. And my name's Bernard. And so off I go, and then all of a sudden I found, oh, hang on, I got him telling me to box like this, and I got him telling me to box like that, and I went in there one day because I've been watching Ali. I've been watching some boxer anyway, I think it was Cassius Clay, and I remember watching it and thinking, I can do that. So I got my gloves, and the coach is talking to me, Jeff Hampton, God love him, ran the club on his own, worked his heart out, nobody ever appreciated the bloke. Another hero in sport. They're all to be given MBEs, Jeff Hampton. So I get in the ring and I have my hands down here and I move around the ring and I'm popping off the jab. And I can tell you where it was in King Swinford Youth Club, where it was all the youth clubs come together. And all the youth clubs in this part of the Midlands came together down there, and they just threw you all in, and whether you'd boxed or played football, whether you got no arms or whether you do whatever, they just matched you for your weight within a stone. And I remember getting on my toes and popping the lad. And he was a bully from Hollyoall, apparently. I learnt after. He was a local bully from Hollyoall that walked around with the skinhead gear on and whatever. And I got on my toes and I popped, pop, pop. And I thought, wow. Pop, 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 pop. And now I'm a kid who goes to school and I'm still being bullied. By the teachers more than anybody. Yeah. That encouraged the children to bully me. Yeah, there was 2 great teachers, a Mr. Evans and a Mr. Jenkins, that was my best mates. And I had the cane off Mr. Evans a couple of times, and he said to me, come on, Bernie, you know what you've done wrong. And then Mr. Jenkins was the Canadian teacher who came over, and he was phenomenal. And they always give me belief to get me through school. Because I could have been one of them kids that ended it. Because I was so sad to go to school, I hated it. Yeah. I fell in love every day with a different girl. But I hadn't got the courage to speak to him because of my speech impediment. So, back to the boxing, I learned to pop and move. And I thought, wow, then I went on a woof. I went in the spree.
Where did your name Bob come from?
Well, I boxed for Kimber as Bernard Dillon, rightly so, because that's what my mother gave me the name for. Never forgive her for it, but there you go. Bernard Stephen Dillon. I always said, why couldn't you just put the Stephen before? You was named after your Uncle Bernard who won the derby. Oh, I wish you did. I wish you hadn't won that derby. So I was boxing for Kimber and doing a lot, and there was a phenomenal coach called Red Steele that was the Wally coach, who he was light years in front. Red Steele was with sport. With sport, not just boxing. So I go and box for unboxing. I boxed a couple of these lads. Not going to mention names because you start mentioning who you've beat or whatever, then it sounds like you're belittling people. But I fought 2 real good lads from Wally, real good lads. And I remember watching them on the show before I boxed and thinking, that's how I want to box. Look how sharp they am and look how fit they am. And I'm training twice a week, sometimes once a week down Kimber, because Jeff was doing his best for us. And I boxed him, I beat him, and it was tough bouts, but I found my style. I wasn't coached, I found my style. Pop and move, and pop and move, and I was 18, and I went to box for Red Steele, and we boxed, and I went to box up the Summerhill Hotel, and like I had a lot of bets for Kimber, because one day you'd box in Wales and you'd come back, and then the next day you'd box in Birmingham. So that's what you hardly trained. You was always out boxing. Yeah. You don't want a bad thing. And then the matching was bizarre and that, but all of a sudden you're winning things. And that's how you were box fit. And that's how about footballers, you're match fit. Mm-hmm. So I always do that. So then I went to Wally and it was different. It was structured, ba-boom. It was structured, this is structured. And he taught me to block. And is that what that's called, a block? Red Steel. Oh, phenomenal coach. Anybody, Richie Woodall, who's one of my best friends, talks about Red Steel with love, because Reg helped his dad Lenny, who was another phenomenal coach, taught him how to coach, and they work, and they was good friends and funny characters. Again, characters that mould you, not by telling you, but by showing you. Talking and laughing and joking. So I boxed there for him, and I boxed up the Summerhill, and fought this real tough kid, and I'm boxing, and I throw the right hand, and I thought, oh, that hurt. Because I always threw the right hand with my hand open, because I'd always box like that, to block and to parry and hook off there. The only thing I used my backhand for was for waving at people. That's if I stopped anybody, it was off the hook, you know, and boom, boom. And the gloves that we wore, oh my life, might as well have been bare knuckle. There was old horsehair, and before you got him, you moved the horsehair over, and I used to bandage my hands, so my hands would be tight there, and the knuckles would come through. And I think, I know I'm doing it, because he's doing it. Right, you get in there, and you'd stop him, and whatever. Anyway, so Red Steel said to me, he put it in the paper, England select, going over to Germany to box. I'd like Bob Dillon. I'd like Bernard Dillon to come as part of the team. Just fought this guy from Wally, Mick. And done the right thing, I want to go there. And it didn't happen, I didn't go, I didn't get selected. But I thought, you know, why am I down here, Kimber? Because there was a bit of disarray going on, and Jeff, who set the club up, was having people come in and try to take over, and he'd worked so hard, Jeff Hampton, had for me, a hero. So I went up to Wally and I said, look, can I come up here? Boom, yes. And them days, I suppose you'd call it poaching now. Yeah, come on, because he'd give me a little bit. And I went up there. So I boxed this lad, and I threw the backhand, and I felt my thumb go. I felt that thumb touch that. I know. And I knew I broke it because I wet myself. But oh, that's filled the box up with piss. So I've walked over and I've sat down, and I've expected, I will pull you out. And I've sat there. What a motivator, Red Steel. Magnificent specimen as a man. Short hair like an actor, an Italian actor. And he says, all right, so you got him on there, and you're boxing well, you're doing really nice. I said, I think I broke my backhand. He said, well, hit the fucker with the other hand twice as hard. Makes sense. Makes sense. And I was more afraid of him in that moment than I was of the other guy. Yeah. And the other guy's trying to kill me. Yeah. And I've gone, leave it to me. And I've gone out and I fought completely. I reverted back to what I thought the boxer should be. And this was the moral of the story with me and boxing. So I've gone out there, I've boxed, and I've lost on a split. And I put that down to my brain. I've had it all plastered. I've gone the next day. I've had it plastered. I'm 18, and then I go up the gym and I'm working on my jab. And again, I lost a couple for Warney, more or less straight off, and I was devastated. I've left to have the best coach, and he was the best coach. And I'd misinterpreted coaching, which is my big strength. I'd misinterpreted what he meant. You know, the blocks and the parries and have your hands up here, that's great. You're learning the skill. So anyway, he comes up to me and he says to me, I've been thinking about you. He said, do you like the name Bob? Well, I love the name Bob. I've got a collie dog called Bob. I love the name Bob. Why would I not like Bob? He says, oh, I'm ever so happy about that. We're going to call you Bob. And I went, what? He says, I'm never taking anybody in the ring again called Bernard. He says, your mum and dad must have hated you. And walked up, not a smile or anything. And from then on, I was Bob in boxing. And it spread like the flu. In the papers, I was Bob. So a lot of the times when I was in the papers winning amateur fights, you know, them days you was always in papers. The Express and Star was everywhere. It was everywhere. It was like, and that's how it became. And then people, when I was boxing, in boxing called me Bob, and people who I worked with would call me Dill or Bernie. So I had 3 names. And then when I met the love of my life, Julie, and met her and whatever, what's your name? Bernie. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, Bob. Hello, mate. What are you giving me a long neck for? No, give me that shit. Oh, so you're one of those, are you? Oh, if you take the noose off and don't kick the stool, I'll tell you all about it. And then when she'd come visiting, like, you know, around my house, and she's talking, that was the love of my life, and he's been with me ever since. But the moral of the story there is, yeah, the name's funny where it's gone, and even to this day when I tell people, but it was the coaching bit. I'd gone to the best coach in the country, and instead of doing what boxers should do, yeah, I will learn how to block, I will learn how to parry, I will learn how to... I name the stuff different now at GB. When I say do a block, now I say do a shield. So it gives you an idea of what you do. What do you use a shield for? To deflect, to block.
Boxers have all got to have the balance, shape, and everything. It's how they interpret it with a certain like Lennox Lewis couldn't box like Mike Tyson couldn't box like Ali. But they're all brilliant boxing in their own right, aren't they? But what they all have is balance, shape and guard.
Foundation.
We call it the GB way. Rotunda, who was a great Liverpool club. I talk a lot with Paul Wormsley and people from there. That's what they did. And we did it by accident more than anything. Well, we'd always taught it at Whalley, but because like a guy at Whalley that was on our committee, he cocked up the lease up there, so we had to leave. So Whalley Boxing Club was never shut down. We had to leave, and we came here because of a wonderful man called Glenn Horton. I don't know if he's still alive or not. When we was looking to start a club and it was banned in Dudley, he helped us sort this out, and then a magnificent man who's always helped us with everything, Dave Tyler. Anyway, so Whalley came in. We called ourselves Whalley Strike Lions because we didn't want the name Whalley to...
Sorry, Dad, you've missed a bit. Like from when you finished boxing at whatever age, and then you went back into coaching, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, that was... See, look, I'm a big believer in fate. And fate and determination will get you to go as high as you want. Some of us don't want to go any higher because it's frightening up there, you know. So, my son, Richard, is good at football and he's got this mate, whose name I can't remember. He's done a little bit of boxing, he wants to do boxing again. So I said, well, I'll take you down Kimber rather than I'll have Whalley and have a look. And I took him down Kimber and I've done a bit of training. I said to Jeff, can I bring him down? He just wants to do a bit of training and I'll do a bit of training as well. And then I ended up meeting a guy called Gary Tomlinson's dad, Colin, and Brian Gwilt, who was boxers there, and I'm on the back, popping. And Jeff said to me, while my lad and his friend was training, I'm just down there to make sure they're not going to get munched. And I'm doing a bit of coaching with him. And he said, do us a favour, Bob. In early 30s, 30. Can you walk these two around? Walk them around. I haven't boxed for 2 years, and I know that these kids had a few bad, and you know, up on my toes and popping, and I realised I've got that much more experience. So I coached them while I was boxing, like the old man had taught me, and like he did at Whalley, helped your colleagues. And I used to coach them and talk them, and then I'd go down there, and I did less on the bags and more coaching. And then Jeff would say to me, can you do us a favour, any chance you coming with me? Because you didn't need a coaching card them days. Our life's changed. And we'd get the kids in, we go, and we got stuck in coaching, me and Jeff did, and that first year of coaching, Richard packed him in because it was all football. It was just a fad to get him to be with his mate. And that first year we had 3 national champions, and Jeff went, can't believe what we've just done. Kevin Newton, James used to come here, his son used to, Jason
Gonzalez, no?
His son used to box for us a couple of times, then he left. Travelling kid.
Jones.
Jason Jones won it. Then we had another kid, and he won, all 3 won. And all it was teaching the basics. But where my gift came from was we taught them how to stand, step in, turn the feet, punch off that shoulder, punch to the nearest thing, and move. No, blah, blah, blah. And we used to get them moving forward, back, left and right. That's all I used to do that, Kimber. Forward, back, left and right. And if your feet aren't quick, use your feet for defending and your hands for punching. That was my philosophy. And then I taught them how to like deflect and punch. And we got like 3 champions. And then they went from like the club that was one or me. It was Jeff who gave me, go on mate. That takes a lot of doing, you know, to create something. And then somebody that boxed for you then left you and then come back. When I look back. So that's what happened. and I was coaching. And then something horrible happened. Where we was down there and whatever, and then all of a sudden, certain kids that I took to box, they say, oh, a certain person who I loved, he said, oh, don't listen to him all the while, listen to me. And that's what happens. Yeah. It's I hate the word, it's like a cancer. Jealousy is a form of cancer. A guy in boxing called Paul King once said to me, they'll find a cure for cancer, you know, and they'll find a cure for AIDS. He said, but the green-eyed dragon, they'll never find a cure for that. Because I was having a lot of... So, that was it. That's how I got into it, and then Red Steel rang me up, and he said to me, you fancy a game of golf? Wednesday, I'm at work. I have the day off. All right, I'll have the day off. Bring in sick. Oh, okay, that'll do for me. I'll need to chat with you. All right, see you then, bump. So I had to travel all over, wherever it was, Hilltop. And he said, look, I've got cancer, I'm dying. I just cried. Halfway around the golf. I thought he really wants this game of golf bad, doesn't he? He really wants to win this game of golf bad. It's only 50p we've been playing for, he's telling me he's a dying. And he said, I want you to take over my club. He said, he's doing such a great job down there. Come up, me join. He said, you'll work with a guy called Dennis Jackson. Knew Dennis Jackson really well. Another top England coach. Boxed a few of his lads. And John Shakespeare, who's the nearest thing to a brother I've ever had in my life, and I love him. We drive each other mad because I'm yin and he's yang.
You can polar opposites.
Oh,
yeah.
million miles away. Million miles away.
With lifelong bed. Like it's Uncle John, isn't it? Like, you know, Auntie Leslie and Uncle John. Yeah. You know, because they've been closer family than blood ever has, haven't they?
Every time anything's gone...
You ain't got to be blood to be family.
No. You're my family.
Yeah.
You're my family. I see you more than I see uncles and aunties. You're my family. Yeah. I'll turn up at the show when I'm lucky enough. You guys come over. Why do you think I'll give you a kiss in the cuddle? If I don't like you, I don't give you breath. Yeah. Because why do I want to? If you offend me, cut the hand off. So,
you Jackson and Big John.
Dennis Jackson. And I got them. Big John was on the verge of, do I go another year? He'd won everything. He'd won ABA titles as a super heavyweight. Great feet. You look at John's build and whatever, 6'1", short heavyweight, great feet, great coordination, the quiet man. If ever a name was created for something, the quiet man. You know, he's 6 foot, magnificent big frame and whatever. You stick him in the middle of a room, you'd lose it. He'd blend, you'd lose him.
He's met some good lads as well, hasn't he? I've heard in the...
He beat
without mentioning names again, I suppose.
Clifton Mitchell, who was a great boxer, wasn't he? Knocked him out, but it was a lucky shot. Because Clifton said it was a lucky shot. It's amazing, you know, when you knock people out. You had a little bit of luck, but that was a lucky shot. It was class. And he fought the one guy who was about 18 foot tall, John did, and he came out and he tells the story in that black country accent. Is everything that's good in life, John, is no ego, no nothing. No, I just can't tell you how much I love the man. He's my brother. And it drives me mad. Drives me mad with like, because we're different coaching. Drives me mad all these now and stuff like that. But I've got the right to say that because he's my brother. Nobody else has got the right to criticise him in any way. And this great big magnificent specimen, Shaka Zulu, you know what I mean, comes out and everybody went, ooh, oh dear. And this is a guy that the previous year has had a steamroller run over his foot and he's lost half his foot.
Big John.
And what they did, Big John, is at work and he's on the... He's a grafter, he's as honest as the day's long. He's tarmacking, because he's a tarmacker and he's a fantastic tradesman. And it's just the knowledge that he has, but nobody knows it. And he's there, and as he's turning around and saying this, and the bloke saying, come on here, the roller. Oh, imagine that. Still toe caps with the steel turns into a knife, doesn't it? Because it's crushed. Boom. And then, because they've got the tarmac on, they can't let tarmac go on. They put him in a wheelbarrow. And said, all right, the ambulance is coming, and they carried on. And the ambulance, that's John. You want to talk about hard? I'll tell you hard. John Shakespeare. And they take him into hospital, they cut his foot off, half his foot off, and they stitch it up and whatever. And he ain't bitter. He don't blame that bloke for saying stop, he ain't. Because John's in the purest form. He's a man. I've made those children, I will help to raise them children. I will do what I need to do for them children. And his wife, little Lex, he's this great big Irish wolfhound, and she's the little Jack Russell that'll take anybody on. Such beautiful people, and that's what I'm proud of being from the Black Country. But so I go back up there, and John's there doing that, and I used to pick him up on the way there, and when he wasn't working, and we kind of like, I said, well, I'm going to come up here and start coaching, but I'm going to get my coaching badge, and then I'm going to start a place in Pensney, and it's on the main road up towards Russell's Hall, and there's a community centre on your right hand side next to a pub, and I was going to start a boxing club there. I said, but Steely says to come up here and start doing coaching here, and John said, well, let's do it together. I've had enough of this now. I'm boxing people and that, and I've got kids, and so we just did it together. And I went on my level 1, and then John went on his level 1. I went on my level 2, and John went on 2, and I went on my level 3. Then John done his level 3, and we just done it together, and we ended up with a team. We ended up with people, Timmy Broadbridge, wow, from Droitwich, from Redditch, and he boxed for Redditch Club. We had a great club registered, all natural talent. They weren't taught how to block and parry, slip or slide. How you learn is you copy.
Yeah.
How you learn is you copy. And we got there and we taught them how to block and parry, but my gift is motivation. Who you are. You're a human being, you've got a soul, and if you've got the will will always out the talent. And I'd look at somebody and I'd say, he's got a box like Jersey Joe Walcott, or he's got a box like Sugar Ray Robinson. I love the old fighters. Or he's got a fight like Cassius Clay, or he's got a fight like Sonny Liston, or he's got a fight like Henry Cooper with that. And we do it, and we get there, we get in their heads. So there's me, wow, 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 and there's John, like a whisper in the field. And go off. But we done that, and we just coached, and there was Jeff Adams from Droitwich, there was Steve Hanley, there was Jason Gonzalez, and we'd go and we beat everybody everywhere. And we had an heavyweight called Mark Clays, who he beat all the heavyweights. All the heavyweights had been to ABAs, and there was so many. And there was Paul Newey, who came back, and everybody went like, wow. And then that happened with the club, with Wally, where this guy Morris kicked his ass. So Wally Stoke came here, and the Lions. Then we had a phone call off an old guy called Cyril, who'd left Wally and gone to Stanbury, and said, look, we want to reinstate Wally Boxing Club. Can we have the name? I said, yeah, no problem. And that's why we never called this Briley Hill or Horbush, because we never knew how long we were going to stay here. So,
and we said even back then, like 20 years ago, the postcode lottery. Well, if I'm a Pens netter, I can't go there because I'm not from Briley, or if I'm from Cape or Worley. Yeah. So we come up with the idea of the Lions, so it was universal. Yeah. And that's why we've had people from Stareport, Ludlow, Handsworth have travelled then, because it wasn't the postcode lottery. You were allowed to go somewhere away from your district.
It was a neutral area, neutral grounds, wasn't it?
Because here it's very territorial. This is very, very. If you think where we are in the Midlands, you go from Kingscliff of Worley, the dialect's different to what it is in Briley Hill.
Yeah.
And you go from Briley Hill, Dudley, you get to Cradley, you're in a different world. Yeah. You get to Old Hill, that gossip to that lad. I remember a guy called Dave Beans, great England coach, another great England coach, done me level 3, level 4 with him. Funny dude. He went to the Old Hill, the championships was on, and he went into the cafeteria. He's from Durham. And he said, can I have a cup of coffee, please, love? And she says, ah. So he thought, that must mean, yeah. And she's done it, and she says, sugar? He went, yeah. And the woman says, I'm an I. And he went, ha ha ha. And she went, I'm an I. And he went, oh, anybody in here called M&I? we all know what to say, but M&I. And he went, oh, ha, ha. Yeah, I'll have an M&A. No, M&A. And he went, anybody in here called? He said, I started to panic. And then I saw him in tears when he's telling the story. And that's, and me and Richie Woodall, when we were working at GB together, another incredible character his dad was, we laugh about that because our dialect, but that's what makes us great. Yeah. And then you go to Birmingham and people say, oh, you're my brummy, I say. I've supported the Blues because my dad's played for the Blues when I was a kid, and I always wanted to be different, so everybody else was supported the Wolves. And when I first came from Ireland, lived there for a little bit with my gran and blah, blah, blah. So I'm a Blue now as a supporter, but I'm a yam.
Yeah.
And McCracken has my life because he finds our accent hilarious. Talk about another coach, I'll come to him in a minute. His philosophy and the way he overcomes prejudice and stuff, McCracken, another level he is. But this club, we said like we can't put another name on it. Me, John, Julie, and Les, because it's always been the Four Musketeers. What other wives would allow their husbands to do what we've done? It's wrong to do that to somebody, but that's called love.
Yeah.
It's also called trust. My Julie is the reason why I am who I am. My parents, but my wife, who cared for both my parents while they was dying, while he was seriously ill, which I'll come to in a bit, what she did and whatever. Oh, shame on anybody that says bad about people like Julie. Love of my life, and I mean that with all my heart. But so we decided, like, you know, gave our first year's holiday that we was doing this up, and our holiday money to this little shed up. And we, John and Julie and Leslie, and we got the young kids off the estate because they was vandalising everything. We'd do something, come next day, it'd be vandalised. I remember saying, enough's enough now. I've always dealt with life this way. So we've come up, vandalised again. They couldn't get in the door then, doing stuff. So I've gone down to the little bull pub on the corner here. I've walked in and they're all there. It's another breed now. It's like the Vikings have come back. They're all there. The great unwatched, I used to call them. I've walked in, I says, can I have a orange juice, please, in a nice dainty glass with an ice? Yeah, it's a man asking for orange juice in a woman's glass. I've done it on purpose, I know what I was doing. And I got it, and I had a drink like that, and we thought, on my own. I didn't take Big John with me, you know. Didn't do none of that, because I'm not wired up right. That's what I put down, not wired up right. So I've had a drink, and I'm there, and I've got these leather waistcoats on, and I'm there, and it's like, and I've gone, all right, lads. And they've gone, yeah, and I've looked round, and I goes, right, I've got all your faces now. I says, just a courtesy call. I'm the guy with the boxing club. And the one guy's saying, yeah, boxing club. That won't be there for much longer. It'll be burned down. I went, not a problem. You're the one I want to talk to. And he's got to be as wide as that settee. And love him that big. He can't move. Can't move. It's great. Bigger the target, the easier it is to hit. Yeah. Right? So I've gone, you're the guy. And they've all gone, ooh, he's talking to the guy. And I've gone, every time a dog shits on the car park, you're having a good hiding. Every time something happens, I'm breaking something. And if you're not about, you're catching it. Did you hear that silence? That's how it went. It's the loudest noise in the world. And they went, listen, Matt. I said, I'm not your mate. Not your mate. Have a nice day. I walked out. Boom. So that tells me the one thing this place always had was community spirit. Yeah. So they've said to all the kids, and that's what people forget, when you get places where it's hard done by and a rough area, there's community spirit. Yeah. So by doing that, they've gone, oh, we better not do it, because whoever the guy was, they'll end up having he'd have been hospitalised. Yeah. Because that's how we survive. You know, it's no good going into, anyway, so that was it. And then we moved on, and then the kids, Steph and all these people, they started coming and they started helping. And then we'd open in the day, in the 6 weeks holiday, we'd open in the day, and the things that we saw was horrific. Children waiting outside, pouring down the rain with the wellies on, in the middle of the summer, pouring down with the wellies on, and they'd come in and they'd play, and you think, where's the parents? And then when we come to go, you have to drag kids out because the parents have gone to work, and they said to you, you've got two options. You either stay in the house, we lock you in.
Stay out and we lock you in.
Or you stop out, there's 4 or 5 years of age. Right. So we see all of that.
The kid had to, if your mum and dad want, they had to go and sign the dog kennel.
Yes. The one kid, if he didn't stay here, then he had to go back and he kicked the dog out the kennel when it was raining, going with his brother and sitting there. These are true stories. These are true stories. This isn't, but we're living in the days of Dickens. And we're returning back to that, you see. In the 20 years we've been here, that's nearly gone, but it's returning back to them because we've got to survive, people. We need to work. We need to get money to pay the bills. We need to feed. We need to... We go back to the days of Dickens. Anyway, so me and John started. We started the club. We went to Pensnett school. Again, Mr. Horton, Glenn Horton, and Dave Tyler have been such help from us. And we went in and see if we could make it work. And this is how we started our 1, 2, 3. As a young man, I broke my thumb for stealing, so I had to have a bit of time out and whatever. And I went and did karate for 12 months. Clever me, innit? I got a broken thumb. But back in those days, the karate was proper karate. It was Shotokan, it was Wadaroo, Wadakai, and it was all different forms, and it was non-contact.
Yeah.
You know, non-contact. And then it was semi-contact. You could kick, but you couldn't punch to the face and that. Well, here's a story. So I'm doing all of that, my thumb gets better, and then I had my first contest in karate, and you can do that and you get a point, but you don't hit them. And then you can kick to the body. So they've gone together and they've gone like that. Jimmy, I go smack! Disqualified. Oh, that's all right, I've hit him, he ain't hit me. Well, that's my philosophy. And the following week after we get there, and he goes, right, you've learnt that? Yeah, I think I was the one below green belt, I think it was. Been 100 years ago. Before I went to Wally, I bought me in a couple of times boxing. I was still at Kinvest before I went to Wally. So the following week gets in there again, the kid's there with the black eye and one looking at me, and he's like a brown belt. And he's going to do me this time, he's going to take my head off with a kick. And he goes, yeah, you know it is, there's no hitting, you can hit there, you can hit there, you can't hit there, you can't kick to the knee, but you can do that. I'm thinking, just shatter Jimmy. And he went, Jimmy, bump! Disqualified, and I thought, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. So, but I'd learned how they do there, because I love sport. I love judo, the discipline of judo. Oh, do I love that sport. And with foresight, I'd have took Kevin and gone that way. Because what a sport that is. Discipline and the way they do the weights and the technique and the skills and the drills. So we get there, we get down to Wally, down to Pensnett. We hang this bag up, we've had a bracket made, we hang this bag up and 2 bags up, and I got my pads and got off. We got like 6 pairs of gloves and 6, we'll only get 4 or 5 in. We opened the door, it was like going up the Molyneux. John come walking in and he went as white as these walls. And he says, women the shit. I said, nobody turned up, mate. He went, oh, that's... He said, it's herd of wildebeest out there. This isn't women Pensnett. He said, everybody knows how to fight here. I said, oh, and they walked in, and it was like I said, first day when you go to school and everybody's there. And he said, and he looked at me, John, as he always does, and he went, what are you going to do? Not what we're going to do. Because, you know, what are you going to do? And then I just thought, what did they do in karate? And there was 40 or 50 of us in a lesson. What did they do? So I got them all standing their feet together. I got them bump, I got them bump, I got them turning, shape. I didn't even know what I was doing. This resembles there, forward punch, back punch, forward punch, back punch. And then we came up with this, what they do now, what they do now, this skills thing that come from us. And I've got Dave Alloway, Dave Pucknell and Dave Sadler was there when I designed it. Level 1, level 2, level 3, bronze, silver, gold. We designed it before anybody, and everybody's had that idea, which is great to get in schools. Yeah. And we did it. Level 1 was moving forward back, level 2 moving to the sides, level 3 was punching, level 4 was defending, and then bronze, silver, gold. And that's what we did. And Julie, God love her, designed the thing. And that's how we started. And then we said, well, what we're going to call the club, and how we got that was we was walking through Dudley, me and Julie was, shopping. And I said, I ain't got a clue. And I'm a big believer in fate. I'm a big believer. If you think positive, I'm not one of these, sit down and think positive and it'll come to you. I'm one of these, think positive and go out there and work. Don't force nothing, but let it come to you. But look around for it. So we're walking, I'll never forget, we're shopping. And as we walk in there and what we're going to call it, I looked up and there's a great big lion stood up on his hind legs like that. And I thought, oh, it looks like a boxer. And I went, lion, we'll be the Lions. That's how we got the name, the Lions. Ain't fate footing. I just happened to look at it because I was obsessed with the old England badge, the 3 golden lions. Because whenever you went anywhere, when I became an England coach of them, Even the Cubans, the Russians, they wanted your T-shirt. Those 3 lions that the ABA had was phenomenal. And I always wanted that because I'd missed it as a boxer.
Yeah.
Because I lacked that ingredient. I wanted it as a coach. And that's how the lions came about. And we got it. And he said, what should we do? I said, we're still having 3 gold ones, have 3 red ones. And we'll have the lions badge. Because the lion stands for what it is for me.
Yeah, courage for one.
Courage for one. Loyalty for another. Because if you don't stay together, the hyenas will have you.
And the killer instinct.
The killer instinct. But not everybody can be the main hunter.
Yeah.
You've got the people that shepherd them in. If you think about what the lion stands, but what's the one thing that they're famous for?
Pride.
The pride. And that word stands for so much. The pride. And that's what we are up here. We're the pride. And people leave us and people come back. We got a philosophy where if they leave us, then the door's open. If they've been bad and bad-mouthed us when they've gone,
Then it's different.
when they come back, we say no. No, you know, and that happens a lot. And when people have come up here, but that's how we got the name the Lions. And then it happened. We're in this little place here, and everybody hears my name because then I'm an England coach as well. And I wondered where you'd gone.
Before we get into England, coach, because I think it's going to finish us on this episode, but this is going to be part 1. So please pay attention because the next episode is also going to be with Dad on his journey through creating the Lions. Now we've got our foot in the door. The next step is going to be what the Lions have accomplished and then what Bob went on to do. So until next week, gang, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.